Greetings and happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday to one and to all. Perhaps it is Wednesday, depending upon where you are on the globe. And it appears that it is a watch, a government shutdown watch. Will the government shut down at 12:01 a.m. is the question. And it's quiet out here in front of the White House. Very quiet. As you can see, the beautiful flag flying high. And how beautiful the grounds are. There are a few people here taking photos. Not too busy tonight. I think all of the action may be or may have been on Capitol Hill. Again, beautiful night here in Washington, D.C. Your thoughts on whether or not the government will shut down? Will they come to what I've seen in the past, a continuing resolution? Or will people be without paychecks? Welcome to those that have come in. And this is a beautiful, beautiful view of the White House here in Washington, D.C. Which again, everyone is on pins and needles wondering if the government will shut down at 12:01 a.m. Will this situation be worked out? Those of you that are coming in, please double tap and your thoughts. Hi there, Betsy, how are you? Thank you so much for the thumbs up. Again, this is live from Washington, D.C. Hi there, Chase the Goat. Hi there, Mally. Those of you that are coming in, please hit double tap. It is free. And I don't ask of anything else, just double tap. And your comments as to whether you think the government will shut down at 12:01 a.m. Hi there, Juanito. Again, there's another good shot of the American flag. And you can see others, just a few others here. And right there. Let me zoom in really quickly for you all. Are the nice Secret Service police that are there. Thank you for the hearts. Again, pretty quiet, but I believe you're going to see more information at the Capitol. So let me zoom back out so you all get a better shot. There you go. Hi there, Carrie. How are you? Those of you coming in, please double tap. And thank you. Live from Washington, D.C. in front of the White House. This is the nation's capital. Some of you might be able to see the lawn here and beautiful waterfall. And just above the flag. Hi, Benjamin. Okay. Thank you, Betsy. Getting some more people coming down.
I'll stand in front, guys. I'll stand in front. I won't block you.
These are amazing views. Benjamin, I am not sure, and trust me, can't get any closer to find out whether or not he is or not. Corey says, I think they're going to cut the power off to that water fountain. That wasn't nice, Corey. Around midnight, well, hopefully I will be gone and I'll be able to see my way out of here with no problems. That was really cute. I don't think that's going to happen though, Corey. I think all systems are go where I am right now. No doubt.
You got the right guy.
Hold your hands up like you're holding up.
Yes, it is, Benjamin. Those of you that are here, please make sure you double tap. Please and thank you.
I know.
It most certainly is. And here's the flag again for you all. It's actually very beautiful at night. Samson said, turn off the lights and light a candle. No, you did not come in this chat with Teddy P. Yes, Benjamin. I just showed you, and I'll show you again. Right behind. You see those two gentlemen right there? Those are the Secret Service. Oh, that wasn't nice, Senor Spicy. That wasn't nice at all. Now, you may not agree with a lot of what people say or their feelings, but taking lives is not a good thing. Those of you that are coming in, please hit the double tap. And if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. That's free as well. Benjamin, I am a supporter of truth and justice for all. Again, your thoughts on whether or not the government will shut down at 12:01 a.m. And here's some more footage. I think the construction for the ballroom is around on the other side.
I wish.
As far as illegals with criminal past, absolutely.
Back out.
Last minute, he said, some came up. Yeah, you had to cancel. Yeah, there you go.
Senior, and I support everyone's opinion. I may not agree, but I support them. All opinions are welcome, just be respectful. So again, your thoughts on whether or not the government will shut down at 12:01 a.m. Yeah, for those of you just coming in, you can see it's pretty quiet. A few more people have come in. And the Secret Service is just behind those people back there. Glenn Max. Totally should think about that. Federal government shutdown. I remember years ago when I was much younger, I went through a furlough when it shut down, and before they were able to at least come with a continuing resolution. And honestly, ladies and gentlemen, and brothers and sisters, this has happened before many times, unfortunately. I remember going to work and not getting paid. So, again, I was much younger at the time, but unfortunately, this is what happens. And there was a pretty significant split in the House, so we will see what happens again at 12:01 a.m. Will the federal government, shut down at 12:01 a.m.? Now, keep in mind, those that are deemed essential will not be affected. Keep that in mind. Those that are deemed essential employees are normally not affected. I'll show you some more people that are down here. And a few more people have come down here. Some man and his doggy. Hey there, sweet little doggy. Some families as well. Again, you can see the Secret Service gentleman right there. They're next to the gentleman in the blue long sleeve shirt. Absolutely, Benjamin. It is, I believe, around 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Only two of my aunts only have two arms.
Again, a beautiful, beautiful night as far as weather is concerned. There's the flag again. Just an awesome view of the White House. And we still have quite a few tourists here in DC. That would be around the museums and Union Station. So very, very quiet and peaceful here in the nation's capital, Washington, D.C.
No, every time you buy a cheeseburger, they tell you like 65 cents. It pays for that. People love McDonald's, so hey, yeah, more. No. Yeah, it's always included. Always included.
More people are coming in. Benjamin, I think you know the answer to that question.
I don't know if we can see the other side.
You see there's a gate right here. You see my hand? There's a gate. Daniel, I am on a government shutdown watch. and enjoying a beautiful scene in the nation's capital, Washington, D.C., which is the White House. We are free to come down, take pictures, film, until Secret Service says we have to leave. If you jump the gate, what will happen? What do you think will happen? Do you see this gate? Sorry, but I'm not Andre the Giant. And even he wouldn't be able to jump that gate. Or I don't even believe would even think about doing that. You do realize that if you look high above on each side, there are people up there on the roof watching. You understand that, right? I'm sure you do. And another gorgeous view. Unemployed behavior. Daniel, you should never judge. You should never judge. I just got off work about a half an hour ago. And I work at a law firm. So please, be careful with your judging people. And we have a Secret Service vehicle that is pulling up, as you can see. Hello there, Miss Catherine. Hi there, Definition. I do not know that, Benjamin. Hi there, Reg and Walker. Hello to you as well. And we have more vehicles just leaving out, as you can see. Benjamin, go ahead with your question, sir. I'm listening. Or looking at you. Again, the Secret Service is behind me. See other vehicles. And the vehicle that was on the grounds leaving out. A government shutdown is where they cannot come to an agreement on funding, and usually when this happens, and it's happened before, the government or portions of the government will shut down, where people will not get paid, some services will not be provided. Often people refer to it as a continuing resolution. The fiscal year ends September the 30th, not physical year, but fiscal year. F as in Frank, ISCAL, fiscal year ends September the 30th, and it begins on October the 1st. I know that oh so well, by being a former federale myself, as I mentioned earlier. So you're looking at contracts and grants, again, perhaps furloughs. We'll see. There was a story that I saw earlier where Maxine Waters appeared to be a little bit upset. I'm not sure if an agreement will be made again at 12:01 a.m. Hey there, Calais. Hey there, Sean. Sean, I actually spoke to the Secret Service Okay? Again, you don't know my background, so you can continue trolling. It's quite all right with me. Hey, Tracy. You as well. Hey there, Calais, my beautiful. How are you, my beautiful ideal? Now, Harry, that wasn't nice. Don't talk about Auntie, Auntie Max. Now you're gonna make the phone shake. Auntie Max like that. You leave Auntie Maxine alone. She has been around for many, many, as my mother used to say, many, many, many moons. Those that are coming in, thank you. I appreciate it. And if you don't mind, please make sure you double tap. Of course, they're watching me. They're watching everyone. Now, Master League said, too many moons. Now, that could be said for many people in the house, okay? Richard said, not everyone. What were they throwing out of the second story window that day? Let's see. I am not even going to respond to some of these questions. But again, greetings, everyone. And again, those of you that are coming in. Question is, do you believe that the federal government will shut down at 12:01 a.m.? 12:01 a.m. will be October the 1st. Or will they come to a last minute, a Hail Mary, for those of you familiar with football? Hail Mary shot, where they come to an agreement. And they pass the bill, and everyone can return to work, whether they are essential or non-essential employees. Yes, Sean, I mentioned that earlier. I remember when I was a youngster in the government, I was furloughed, and I'm like, Mama, can I borrow some money, please? So yes, I've been through this. Sally Baltimore, Idiocracy has come out to be the washing machine. Will it be in the yard soon? You tell me. Richard Mulhead says true. Sergey, welcome. Those of you that are coming in, please make sure that you hit the double tap. Okay, y'all, listen. Let me see if they come over to me.
Trump is king! Jesus is king, there you go. Jesus is king.
Amen.
But Trump is father.
Let me set up one.
Okay. We have some Trump supporters here. Thank you again for those coming in. Sorry about that. Please double tap if you don't mind. I appreciate it. And Servando says, the President, Vice President, and civil officers of the United States shall be removed from office on impeachment for and conviction of treason, bribery, or other high crimes and misdemeanors. Sergey says, a bunch of nutcases in Washington. Hey there, Zeta. How are you? And thank you for those that have thumbed up. Again, we have even more people coming in. I don't know if they're going to let me interview them or not. I doubt it. Hey there, Lead Wire. I am downtown, and it's a possibility that the federal government will shut down at 12:01 a.m. And Obey Solking, I hope I'm saying your name correctly, is who's going to remove him. And Richard says his health, and then I see some LOLs in there. You all be respectful. Again, I'm not going to censor anyone, but please be respectful. There are many people that agree with President Trump's ideologies while others do not. And again, these people referenced Donald Trump and Trump for 2028. You're welcome, Lead Wire. How are you doing, Calais, and everyone else? And again, thank you for those who have come in. More people are coming down. I imagine more will as it nears midnight. There are some people that may be at the Capitol, but I'm sure the congressmen and women are gone by now. I believe this one right here is about to speak.
Yeah,
Sergey, there are a lot of people here that are not American. But again, I do not fault you for your opinion. We all have them. Obey says, let's all vote for Jesus Christ next time. Oh, thank you, Lead Wire. Richard says 97% of us did. Thank you to those that have left. Again, I want to get this interview. Again, you see more people here?
I should probably do
Smile for this one.
No, you look beautiful.
I don't want to get in their way.
Name tag or not?
Serious? Well, I'm gonna do like mine.
For sure. So classy.
Do like mine.
Again, you see more people coming in.
I'm gonna do one right now. Oh, wait, let me do mine. I'm gonna go done because I just got the new, it looks really. Oh, this is so cute. You're looking at this. I gotta show you this. She was looking at you. Looking at She is cute. I know. Look at how good. But actually, no, that's better. So hers is like that. Just a part. That one's not that.
Okay, one of the civil or Secret Service members are leaving. Hey there, my beautiful ideal. How are you? Over there.
We're going into the Capitol.
Yeah, I'll send it to you. Okay. You guys are Of course.
Okay, he just said he's a real patriot and is going into the Capitol. What does that mean? I do not know.
Can we get one photo? We have one photo here. It's a little bit to the left. A little bit.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Is this good? All right. Richard says January 6th, 2029.
Everybody's at the phone, but we can count them out.
I gotta pick one with flash, you know.
Those of you that are coming in, if you don't mind, please double tap. And thank you. God bless America indeed. And behind, which you cannot see because it looks like it's hidden, is the monument. And you can hear some sirens in the faint distance. Get back over here. I think they're done, yes. A lot of people are down here, as I mentioned, taking photos and getting some footage. Now this was gated all the way off at one time a couple of weeks ago, but they've allowed a little bit more access.
Oh, no. It's a hot spot. So happy.
Get my water.
Right there, we'll get your... We're gonna get... Is that right? They just want to see you grab a couple years. So sweet. That way you guys can get them.
So you can see
Oh, I got
the people down here tonight, September the 30th, 2025. And the question is, will the federal government shut down at 12:01 a.m.?
I'm watching. No, they are. They're lawyers for pharmaceuticals. Are they really? Wait, you guys said friends. Will there be ever anything more? Okay. Could you get one of Kelly and I real quick?
And these happy-go-lucky people don't seem to be concerned whatsoever. They seem to be extremely happy, as you can see. No concerns whatsoever. Richard says Epstein files and inflation.
You guys are amazing. What you do is amazing.
And there are still people coming in.
The angles are great. Really? Like that? We can crop it later. How about a bit more of his side pose? Side pose. Yes. Don't look at me. Yes, look that way. Yes. That works.
Are you want to take it with mine?
Yeah, I don't know how to do it, but mine's not exactly example.
And you got some fancy applications as well.
Again, thank you to those that have joined and those that have given this a thumbs up.
Imagine you're with your younger.
Douglasville, how are you?
Yeah, do that for me.
The question is, will the federal government shut down, meaning no more funding, at 12:01 a.m.?
One more?
Am I capable?
Will an agreement be reached to provide for funding?
We'll do some more.
Is there a continuing resolution in place? Again, as Richard, I believe, said earlier, this happened, or Gene, Richard or Gene, one of the two, said earlier this happens often, and it does. I remember being furloughed years and years ago.
Yeah, that's better. Yeah. Perfect.
So that's what's going on. It's on the news. So this isn't clickbait. This is not clickbait. This is the real deal, Holyfield. Douglasville says, right. I hope not. Yeah, that was a rough time for me. I was much younger, and as I mentioned earlier, I had to call home to my mama
outside the White House, right? Okay. And so I'm gonna have a second
to ask for a little bit of change to help get her baby girl through. And it wasn't like I wasn't working, but during a furlough, it didn't matter.
Yeah, all you need is one feed. The other feed is just gonna be for me to be able to see silk. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna reconnect right now. You're gonna see the White House. Okay.
So I'm sure there are a lot of federal workers who are considered non-essential, very concerned right now, and those that are expecting to receive services, because keep in mind, October the 1st is payday for a lot of people and for a lot of services. Hey there, Bruce. How are you? And welcome. Those of you coming in, if you would be so kind, could you please just double tap? Just take your finger and tap. If you are unable to do that, then take your nose and just hit the screen twice, real softly and gently. Thank you. Thank you so much. So, Munman says, who lives there? Munman, now you know good and darn well who lives here at the White House. Let's not troll too much. Who says Donald Trump is a... Okay, I'm not going to repeat that. I'm sure people can see that in the chat. Hey there, my beautiful Anita. How are you? Thank you for those that are giving me a thumbs up. I appreciate you.
Sorry, can you say again, please?
Red-blooded American. Look how beautiful the White House is when it's not up like the rainbow. It is actually a very beautiful scene. And let me get a little bit closer. You see, these are...
Can you guys hear me?
This is the gate right here. This is my hand. Need to get my fingernails done again, but... So, we're blocked out. But let me see if I can get you a little bit closer in. There's the flag. Again. You can see some vehicles out front. And the lawn. And the beautiful fountain. See? Isn't this view gorgeous? Live from the nation's capital. And Mundan says, nice mountain. RBA is right. That's dirty. I don't know what Casey means. Joe Biggs got 20 years for touching a fence. J6. President Trump is the best POTUS ever. And there were people down here earlier that agreed with your sentiment. Red-blooded American. Again, I see quite a few. Small groups of folks here taking photos and some footage. And No Breaks says, hey there, No Breaks, how are you? Those of you that are coming in, please, if you don't mind, can you just double tap the screen? This is live in Washington, D.C. out of the White House. outside of the White House. And again, the question is, will the federal government shut down at 12:01 a.m.? And no breaks, as I mentioned earlier, said, D.C. is safe again. Thank you, Trump. There's a couple here earlier that said Trump for 2028.
We were here for the 250th Army anniversary.
So you mean the president? This is the easy one. Moving up
Again, will the federal government, ladies and gentlemen, shut down at 12:01 a.m.? Will people be without paychecks until an agreement is reached? Will critical services be stymied until an agreement is reached? Hey there, Matt. Red-blooded American says shut it down and permanently lay off thousands of federal employees. Whoa, red-blooded, why would you say that? And Jack says, TD, that's not your house. Oh my. We have more people that are coming in.
Producer, can you guys hear us here? Are we good? Let's be honest.
Those of you coming in, please double tap. Hey there, Matt, again. This is live. Washington, D.C., the nation's capital, outside of the White House. And the question is, and it is in the news, all over the world, will the United States federal government shut down at 12:01 a.m. or will there be a last-minute agreement that has been reached where thousands will not be affected with pay and other essential services for which they rely upon? Hey there, Jonathan. Matt says, don't worry, be happy. And red-blooded American, I don't want to miss your comment, says, because they're lazy, overpaid, and not earning their keep. Now, red-blooded, I'm a former federale, and I worked my butt off. Okay? Actually, I was a member of those that helped to combat waste, fraud, and abuse. So, not everyone is lazy. But I did witness a lot of that. So, part of that I can agree with. When it came to me and what I did, absolutely not. Those of you that are coming in, please double tap. You can't do it with your finger. Again, use your nose. Maybe use your toe. Just a soft tap on your device. I'd appreciate it so very much. Unknown says MAGA 2028. Red-blooded American says, I call BS. Again, I know what I did and I have the accolades to show it. But again, you're entitled to your opinion and I appreciate you for voicing it. I don't censor. Robert Scott Williams says MAGA 2028. And Calais is still here all the way from the Philippines. Again, you see a variety of people here from all over the world. And this one and the sparkles look like they just came from a party. And over here in the middle are your dedicated Secret Service officers keeping an eye on everyone, including me. Hey there, DJ Is, how are you?
I mean, maybe.
Absolutely red-blooded American. Again, everybody is not going to agree, and there are people 100% opposed against me, but I cannot have a platform where people cannot voice their opinion. All I ask is that you be respectful. And I'm sure you have your reasons for thinking the way that you think, and it is quite all right.
Even if I were to step on this and be like hypothetically fine halfway up.
Jonathan says, is this a normal night at the White House? It actually depends. It depends on if something has happened that has grabbed the mainstream news, then you may see some protests, but for the most part, it is actually very quiet. There are some homeless people, though, further up. Way down there's a lady that is in red, and she's been here for a couple of months now. I saw her earlier, so there still is a homeless problem here in D.C., but and to answer your question, it's you're normally pretty quiet.
That's a 6 motion.
Security doesn't play here. Ken Brown says, and they all feel safe. Some do. And Red-Blooded American says, ICE already cleaned out the trash. Not everyone, just yet. Red-Blooded American, trust me, I've walked around some of these streets alone late at night. Again, there are just things you all don't know about my background, and there are things that I've seen, and I actually have shown that you haven't seen. So, not everything is completely clean. And I'll just leave that there. Hard stuff.
Anti-ICE protests that were devolving into anarchy.
Okay.
To come here and get a little first-hand perspective.
All right, I'm gonna go see if I can't get this interview. And Mike says, no, it's not a normal night. It's gonna be a government shutdown. Please. That's why is it going to shut down at 12:01 a.m. This is in front of the White House. The people that you may have seen, some of the head people, like I said, Auntie Maxie, they were at the Capitol earlier. They're gone. No, I don't know if there are any protesters out there. I don't know. I'll check before I leave here. Oh, okay. I'm sorry, Red-Blooded American. My apologies to you. Red-Blooded American says I was referring to the illegal trash. Understood. And again, my apologies. I was not clear. So thank you for making me clear on your statement. Mike says, check while walking around. Where they always be shadows and people that hide in them no matter where you go. Absolutely. There's a news story that some of you may not be aware of that a UDC student was attacked. UDC, now that was in a decent area in Washington, D.C. That didn't get a lot of coverage, though. And that person is still on the loose. I'll have to do a video about that, but as I said, there's so much going on here in the DMV, which encompasses the District of Columbia, Maryland, and Virginia. So, and let's not forget, former FBI Director James Comey was recently indicted. So there's a lot going on here in the nation's capital for those of you that have not been keeping up with the news. A lot. Mike says, okay. Thank you everyone for the thumbs up. I appreciate it. Once again, Has some big wigs down here.
Democrat Washington, D.C. establishment, they tried to gaslight the American people.
Okay, I'm gonna let you all listen to this guy. Hold on.
Testimony. It said that he knew nothing about any type of undercover FBI agent.
Hold
They
on.
let us rot away in solitary confinement in the depths of the D.C. jail without visiting our family for 18 months. They didn't give us a shave or haircut for 18 months. They held us under false pretenses for years while they set up an operation to paint Donald Trump in domestic terrorist and to paint all of his supporters as some type of wild extremists. Meanwhile, they were inside the crowd agitating, orchestrating, and destroying what was a peaceful protest, and they turned it into a complete free-for-all, unfending for our lives. They killed 4 unarmed American patriots that day: Ashley Babbitt, Roseanne Boylan, Kevin Greason, and Benjamin Phillips. The FBI set up, murdered these Americans, and no one has answered for any justice. Christopher Wray, we're coming for you. You're going to see an indictment soon. President Trump has just tweeted about you, lying to Congress. You will see a federal indictment coming soon, sir. And guess what? Read the messages I left you in the D.C. jail walls. You deserve it. Sleep well on that metal mattress.
Wow. Matt says, speech to text I never get right, DC. It's okay, I understand.
We did a Form 95, which is basically an official notice to the FBI and DOJ saying we're coming for recompense, we're coming for reconciliation. You owe us, the American people, all of the
Red-blooded American. I saw that, and that's actually very funny. Thank you for making me laugh.
People have their vocations destroyed. We have put them on notice. We will be filing an official federal court lawsuit this week. They have already been put on notice, and the DOJ and the FBI are complicit in a cover-up. They tried to actually form a coup d'etat and get Donald Trump revoked from being able to even run for president. See, they had a plan for
This is
January
exclusive,
6th.
ladies and
They tried to
gentlemen.
create a false narrative of insurrection so that they could use a constitutional amendment to be able to make sure that President Trump wasn't even allowed to run for president. That is akin to a coup d'etat. They tried to subvert the will of the American people. And Christopher Wray, the due process violations, the Brady material violation, which is the exculpatory evidence, evidence that can help exonerate you in the courtroom, they hid from us. I personally, still, 3 times I applied for bond. I was 25 years old when I was arrested. I never was given bond for over 4 years and 6 days. I have no criminal record, and they held me. And I kept on asking in the courtroom, why? Why are you not telling us what federal agents are there? What DHS agents are there? What confidential human sources were there? They hid evidence that the grand jury would have used, that the DC courtroom, the trial...
I'm still good right here, sir?
What's that?
I'm still good right here?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay.
Have a good night.
You too. See, that was a nice man from the Secret Service, and he told me that I was good. Whew. Surely didn't want anyone to see me get... Hey there, Lou. G. Luigi? Hopefully I'm saying your name correctly. No, I was asking a question. Is the federal government going to shut down at 12:01 a.m. because there has not been an agreement as of yet? But right now I'm listening to this gentleman that is speaking.
Riot, that they call it. The January 6th protest that they turned into a riot. I asked for this evidence. They refused to give
John
us this
Doe,
evidence.
you
They held me
are
for
welcome
4
to
years
leave.
without a trial because I did not back down and said, I know there were feds in that crowd, and I deserve to know the name, the badge number, and the assignment of every single federal asset, and know what they did. Did they break into the Capitol?
Absolutely
Did they
no rioting.
use weapons? Did they instigate
John Doe
an
says, I hope
crowd?
it shuts
They never
down.
gave us this information, and President Trump just tweeted on Truth Social that he wants the name and badge number of all 274 FBI agents and their exact assignment that day. We need to get to the bottom of this. The American people and President Trump were set up on January 6th.
You're not irritating me, John. As long as you're not disrespectful, I don't censor here. So if that is your goal, then try hard. Trust me. I've dealt with criminals You can't irritate me. Grandes Guardian, again, I hope I'm saying your name correctly, says J6, full of FBI. And you can see how passionate this gentleman is. And he was very kind to me earlier, so I'm listening attentively. My apologies. Hopefully you all can hear this as well.
I believe that this new committee is going to be calling up J6 lawyers.
Oh, thank you, Mike. I appreciate you.
Full scope of information and then laying it in the people's hands, which we never had the opportunity to. The last J6 Select Committee was a propaganda machine. 13 top cable news networks, all obfuscated and twisted and perverted the story of January 6th in order to try to make Donald Trump out to be some type of RICO criminal.
Okay, so this gentleman appears to be defending Donald Trump and what happened on January 6th. Oh, wow.
But Liz Cheney, Benny Thompson, and all these swamp monsters. Oh, you can't. I think my spine shivers when I think of them. These people will be indicted for lying and purposely trying to.
So it appears that there may be litigation down the pike against FBI agents. Now keep in mind, I did a live not too long ago where I stated that there were roughly 20 FBI agents that were fired as it related to taking a knee in reference to around the, I'll just say, the unaliving of George Floyd. Now, I understand that a lot of people have their thoughts and feelings against that. However, as a result, again, roughly 20 FBI agents who were filmed taking a knee. And keep in mind, those agents, some of those agents said it was a tactic to de-escalate the situation, and they were terminated from their positions by current FBI Director Kash Patel. So yes, I am very aware. I'm woke. I'm woke as to what's going on, and I'm right here in the nation's capital. So this isn't mainstream media. This is not NBC. This is not CNN. What else is out there? Fox News. This is just my little YouTube channel where you just heard an exclusive from someone who was very passionate on his stance, on his perspective of what happened January the 6th and how he feels as though people, listen to him, as people in his perspective is making rhetoric that is not true.
There was not a single American in the crowd, so we spoke to hundreds of people. They were all from
terrible times. You sound like Charles Barkley, who used to say terrible instead of terrible, but terrible times. He's someone that, again, is passionate and is defending Trump and January 6th. Grandy's Guardian says, fight, fight, fight. Thomas says, Floyd OD, though had a C-19 with a heart condition. Pepper spray. Yes, and I read all of those, but I also read an autopsy where it was ruled a homicide. So again, people can debate that. However, it's done. So let me listen to him some more, you all.
Very vigilant about who is coming into our country and what their motives are, Sylvie.
Okay, so he's speaking about people entering the country. So this is very good. No, this is not an act at all. He's very serious. And he mentioned indictments and lawsuits, and he mentioned some names for those of you that have been here. And there's another Secret Service agent, and he didn't bother this gentleman whatsoever. And again, he's voicing his opinion. He has not said anything racial or disrespectful. He is expressing himself. AU says most of them trying to replace CK. I don't know
This is a simple
about that.
question. Name the last mass shooter that was a MAGA supporter. They keep on trying to claim these people were, but we keep digging into all their social medias. All of them are either trans activists, avowed Marxists, or Democrat donors. The Democrat Party has shifted because their ideas can't win into violence. They are silencing.
I'm just going to pan over here real quickly. There are more people coming in.
Bullets. Of course, we all know the Democrat Party is a domestic terrorist operation. They are the ones that are funding Antifa. And let me just put it this way, so look at the way God
Trouble
is
Time
shifting
said,
the dichotomy.
did anyone mention
I
that
was
the psych
labeled a domestic
evaluation
terrorist.
team
President Trump was on stand. He
is
was
on their
on
way?
trial. We were all being persecuted, given 9 months later, and all these people now, we have 36 arrests against Antifa. They're being charged federal charges as domestic terrorists. They're all in prison. James Comey's going to prison, and the whole entire...
As I mentioned just a few moments earlier, James Comey, former FBI director, was just recently indicted. So this gentleman right here is saying that he's going to prison. And he just mentioned that Antifa is going to prison. Grand Eyes Garden says, no, they are in Portland.
Yes. Thank you. Hey guys, by the way, if you want to help out, oh yes, I just wanted to tell all the audience, if they wanted to help out the January Sixers, we still have ongoing fundraisers to rebuild the J-Sixers lives. We've got guys that are still struggling.
KJ just said Tom McCann shoes. We have some comedians in the chat tonight. For those of you that are coming in, please double tap, because you're not going to see this on mainstream media. I promise you that. Unicom says America is what? America first, LOL. What a dumb comment. Does he have trick shoes to lean forward so much? And unicorns aren't real. Well, that was an exclusive, ladies and gentlemen. You heard his passion during his speech. And Will, she actually looks like Erica Kirk. Does she not? Oh my God. I'm not going to get too close to her respectfully, but this woman really resembles Erica Kirk. Wow. So, let me close this a little. And Jeffrey says, Trump, MAGA rocks. Ice, baby. And Real Life says, I can't read that, has 15 weapons clubs across the nation and a chapter in every state. AU says, I told you. Interesting. I'm going to have to go back, download this, and do some timestamps. But that was very interesting. Alpera, do you feel safe here? Again, in the line of work that I've done over the years, this, where I am right now, that actually could go either way. I've been deep in the most impoverished areas, which is Ward 7 and Ward 8, mostly Ward 8. That was my cousin. She does it every time where it dangerous, but this, to be quite honest with you, could be even more dangerous because there are many people out here that are not happy with the current president, and there are a lot of people currently not happy with what's going on as far as the federal government shutdown, period. So, because if you look, the presence of Secret Service, at least where I am, is not a lot. So any of these people that are walking around freely with their backpacks, because there is not a search of any bags or anything like that, it could actually be more dangerous. So that question could be answered 50-50. Do I see gangs here? But no. As we've seen in the past few weeks, you don't need a gang. You just need one crazy nut that comes in with a bag. That could be out on one of the benches behind me. And could unleash. So, if you conceptualize and really pay attention, is any place really, really safe? It just takes one nut and an opportunity. You don't see any officers now. Anyone can walk right down that sidewalk. With anything. Now, even though, of course, if you look up top, you can't see it, but I can. There are people watching, of course, but I'm talking about here on the grounds. Anything could happen, so that's the answer. I voted for this. USA, America first. FBI has entered the room. Hey there, tree ninja. Nope, run. Trump is working at lightning speed. And Glory says, ha ha ha, Jill's at Pin XD. And Red-Blooded American says, massive permanent employee layoffs are needed. Interesting. Well, Red-Blooded American, my question to you, and again, I respect your opinions. What agencies would you feel, or do you feel, should have these mass layoffs? And please don't say all of them. But if you feel as though all of them, then by golly, as I mentioned, I'm not censoring you, but your opinion. What agencies would you think? Globe says IRS, CIA, FBI. Wow. We need term limits. No reason for people to be in Congress for life. Are you talking about Auntie Maxie? Patrick says, close the government down. KT Dog says, MAGA. James says, trash. I'm not sure who or what you're referring to, but your comment is there. Make some sec workers go to work. JS says IRS. Mary says the VA. That's funny. I used to work at the VA, the Office of Inspector General. We did a lot of investigations. The VA, for those of you who don't know that, is just down the way and you hook a left. And that's headquarters for the Department of Veterans Affairs. That is in walking distance of, you guessed it, the White House. Globe says, make everyone go to work the way I do every day. Absolutely. I came down here after work, where I put in 10 hours today. and 12 almost every day last week. I work at a law firm, and I had a couple of investigations to do. So, yes, I work. And it's not easy. But important matters like this, I do try to capture for you guys and gals so you can see for yourselves and hear for yourselves what's going on other than what is told to you and maybe be spun in a different way from mainstream media. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. And you're welcome, and thank you to those that were kind enough to thumbs up. You know, it's getting a little bit more quiet. See a couple of more brave men of the Secret Service. And keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, these gentlemen have been extremely kind and pleasant to everyone that has come here. And they don't have an easy job. It may be, the optics may appear that it is, but they really don't. They put their lives on the line each and every day. They could have people that walk up to them and speak to them and converse to them when they may have nefarious intentions. So it's not easy. And these gentlemen and ladies of the Secret Service, they're young. You have some older ones out there, but the majority of them are very young. And that's about it from the White House. And Dee Warren says, love you, Trump. And Suge Knight, did you get pardoned? Say his name. And he appears. And George Boulder says, God bless you, thank you so much. And Globus, and I am not censoring anyone, says, we are all Charlie Kirk. And AU says, shut down government for both side playground. And Go said, ha ha ha, Suge, I can't, I don't like trolls, I'm gonna be honest with you, but that name right there, I'm literally laughing because I didn't expect that. And the question is, did you get pardoned? And no one knew about it. Is that an exclusive? If so, hit my email because I need an exclusive interview with you, Suge Knight. Mama, I made it. Suge Knight is coming to my chat. That is too funny. Okay, Handy. Watch the language now. All right. Let's see if anything is going on around the Capitol. But again, this is live from outside of the White House in the nation's capital, Washington, D.C. And the question is, will the federal government shut down at 12:01 a.m., which will be October the 1st, 2025? Your thoughts? All right. Let's say goodbye to these nice gentlemen. I need to watch what I'm doing so I don't fall. Go over this side. Good night, sir. Good night, gentlemen. Thank you for being pleasant. Bye. See? Very nice and kind. And young. Now, I'm not sure what's going on over here. And Noodles, that's a cute name. Noodles says, Trump. And Jill says, every day like Halloween. And Hamdi says, run, run. No need to run. And again, another beautiful view of the White House, the nation's capital, Washington, D.C. Again, the question, will the federal government shut down at 12:01 a.m.? Please double tap. Again, hold on. Now you can see it. Right behind, you can see a flashing red light. That is, ladies and gentlemen, the Washington Monument. Hi there, Lee Hill. Alvarez says, I only been to DC once when drama was in office. When Obama was in office. I was surprised to see so many homeless people sleeping in the open. Oh no, they're all around. That's a misnomer. That's not here. That's absolutely true. You're looking at too, and when I leave, you're gonna see a lady in red who's been out on the benches for at least 2 months now. Yes, that is the White House. I support righteousness and right and truth. So we're going to walk, and I'm going to look towards my right in a moment just to see something. So pardon me if I don't see some of your questions, because it is dark and there are no officers out here. And whether you all know it or not, there's still people getting snatched up. There's another statue. Again, another beautiful view. Davino says, rest in peace, Charlie. God bless America. And just as I thought, hold on. More people taking pictures. Those of you just coming in, thank you for tuning in. Again, the question is, Will the federal government shut down at midnight? Your thoughts? Again, everyone has their opinions. You're not censored here. Just be respectful. Thank you so much. Give me one moment. Now, someone mentioned about homelessness. That's the homeless woman that's been here for about 2 months now. It's a Caucasian woman. Homelessness comes in all colors and classes. You can see her bags. And look how close this is to the White House.
In a quarter mile, turn right onto 13th Street Northwest.
That's her. That's the White House. That's her. That's the White House. So, some of the things you all hear, as I've been saying and preaching for months, it's not always accurate. Trash. 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 White House. Homeless. White House. Well, Hamdi, isn't that what the purpose of having the National Guard troops for the DC takeover was for? To clean up the homelessness and the drugs and the trash. Clearly, someone hasn't been on their job, because you see homelessness, you see trash, and that's the White House. It's unfortunate, but this is truth. Again, be careful. Some of these news outlets and some YouTubers that report what the news shows them. I'm actually here in Washington, D.C. Again, trash. More trash. More trash. It's a metro bus there. More trash. Again, the White House is just behind. Oh, hey there, doggy. Hello. It's a little doggy. Hey there, doggy. Even the doggy's famous now. So, you see people on their little, I don't know what you call those, scooters? Or little motorized things. I said one day I was going to get on one, but I don't think I can do it. I'm too old now. And I'll probably have an accident. People on their bikes. So it's been a relatively quiet night here thus far. I'm going to show you something else in a moment. Again, over across is the White House. Okay? You saw that, right? This is the Department of Veterans Affairs. Okay? The Department of Veterans Affairs. And the White House. And the White House. All right. The truck is on. And let's head to the Capitol. I'll be nice in the chat now. So we are on our way to the Capitol to see if there is anyone out there that is counting down to 12:01 a.m. when it appears the government may shut down. Hey there, Calais, you're still there. Hey there, Winja. Blessings. We're on our way to the capital, perhaps. That's my intention, but we'll see. And there is the capital. There is the capital. I'm going to try to get a little bit closer. I'm going to try to get a little bit closer up in there. Hey there, Ideal. Blessings to all of you all. And thank you so much. Hi, Lucas. And here we are. This is the Capitol. Hey there, strange days. Oh, thank you for your contribution to whoever that was. Thank you so much. Let me see who that was. I'm sorry, I was driving. Oh, thank you, Ideal, for your blessings. May they be returned to. But this is the United States Capitol. Isn't it beautiful? Thank you. And again, ladies and gentlemen, will the federal government shut down at 12:01 a.m.? And what will that mean? Let me see if I can get another angle. here's another spectacular view of the Capitol. Hi there, Hakeem. There is an issue as it relates to if the federal government is going to shut down because of spending bills and continuing resolution, and what that will mean if it does shut down at 12:01 a.m. What it means for workers and those that depend on essentials. And RK says, still boggle my mind when all they had was horse and buggies, no power tools. You know something, RK, my mom used to say when we had conversations, and I miss her so much, how it seems as though we have too much now. She would say that they had barely anything, and they came from a family of 12 and would wear each other's clothes, but they were much happier. So again, this is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful view of the Capitol. And again, the question is, will the federal government shut down? And what will that mean to federal workers and other workers, contractors? Those, again, at the first of the month who depend on paychecks and other services provided by the federal government. These have been some beautiful views. And I thank you all that were kind enough to give a thumbs up. Those of you that expressed yourselves with comments and questions. Again, I don't censor here. I just ask that you're respectful. That's all. And again, thank you so much for your blessings. May they be returned abundantly. And we will find out what happens at 12:01 a.m., which will be the beginning of, for many of us, October 2025. Have you made any plans yet? Have you checked off any goals as of yet? Because for all intents and purposes, we are on the heels of 2026, God willing. And we've seen many, many things happen. And this is just the tip of the iceberg, the proverbial tip of the iceberg. So again, so it's already October for many of you. So happy October 1 to you, Calais, and Ideal, and everyone that listens to me and supports me from abroad. I love you all and thank you so, so much for all of your continued support. I don't care if it's the wee hours of the morning or the night, you are there, and I appreciate you. And the support that you bring as well. Again, a beautiful, 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 picturesque night here in the nation's capital, Washington, D.C., where the question is, will the federal government shut down? And for those of you that this might be new to, this has happened before, but this is under a new regime, so the the paradigm may shift. We'll have to see. There have been many talks, there have been many, I don't want to say threats, but just a little bit of, I'll say, aggressive language that has been used. Oh no says, hey there, oh no, never seen you before, but welcome. Says, definitely, no, declassify UAP. And Avery 420, welcome Avery. For those of you that are just coming in, if you have not, can you just do me one teeny tiny favor, and that's double tap the screen. Please just double tap. Again, as I mentioned earlier, if you cannot tap it with your finger, use your nose, use your toe, use your elbow, but just a tap. And I would appreciate you oh so much, because it's free. I don't ask for much, just a thumbs up and any comments you may have. Again, I don't censor people here. I just ask for you to be respectful, but you get a little bit disrespectful, then you may have to be timed out, or depending upon the severity of your comment, you may have to be hidden, because I don't want anyone to feel uncomfortable in this chat, because I'm downtown often, or in other areas where there are things that have gone on that the news may spin one way, and I actually show you what is actually happening at real time. So again, thank you so much for those who has taken the time and thoughtful enough to hit the like. I appreciate it. Now, some of you might be petty and take the like back after I end a live. People actually do that. I don't know why, but they do. They give it and then they take it and they take it away. But again, for those of you that have double tap and you have left it there, thank you. I appreciate you. Hey there, Pat. Avery says, even if you don't remember, you know your mission. Okay, Avery. And again, Pat, welcome. Happy Tuesday. It is almost Wednesday. We've got about an hour and a half to see what happens in this, I'm going to call it a game of chess in the federal government. Oh, thank you for the other like. If you can get it to 50, I'd appreciate you so much. And again, your comments as to your thoughts on everything that's going on, not just here in the United States in Washington, D.C., but all over the world, because there's news all over. I'm just here in the nation's capital, so I can have boots to the ground to actually show you things that you may not see on CNN or MSNBC or Fox News. You just see it on a small YouTube channel. Hey there, brother boss, how are you? Welcome. Happy Tuesday. Actually, happy Wednesday to you. You are already in October, so blessings to you for making it to a brand new month. Goodness, 3 months away. We are on the last leg, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, God willing, to a brand new year. Can you believe 2026 is literally right around the corner? Amber Robinson, blessings to you and welcome. To those of you that are here and perhaps new, if you have not subscribed, and you don't have to, but I would suggest you consider hitting the subscribe button, because I do come out with boots to the ground, as I mentioned earlier, and I take a lot of film and footage and show you all. There was a portion, and some of you may have to go back about 45 minutes, where a gentleman was speaking with a lot of passion about his defense of President Donald Trump and his perspective of the events surrounding January 26th. He spoke of indictments and other litigation, so it's going to be extremely interesting to see what's to come in these months ahead. Oh no, Ideal. Ideal says there's a 6.9 magnitude here in the Philippines just last night. Well, prayers to those in the Philippines. And I hope that recovery efforts and rebuilding efforts has begun for you and anyone affected, and prayers. And as I just mentioned, there is always something that's going on, again, not just here in the United States, but abroad. Weather, lack, people needing desperate, dire supplies and relief. It seems like it's ongoing, never ending. The only thing I can suggest is, trust me, I've been in the trenches where I've had feelings of hopelessness. It's just to pray. And I know there are some people that don't believe, and I understand that, and I respect you as well. You have to, well, I believe you should have to have some type of faith and not give up. Giving up is easy. If you really think about it, giving up is extremely easy. It is staying in and fighting through the muck and the mire. That's the difficult part. That's where your faith and resilience is activated. And if you can get past and weather that storm, trust me, there's another storm on the horizon. You can use those tools and navigate through those as well. Amber Robinson, and blessings to you, Amber, says, we need to worry about the warfare in our own country. My mom always says charity begins at home. So we have to worry about a lot of things in this country. As we speak, many people are looking at the clocks for 12:01. But if you love, and God is supposed to be love, keep that in mind. There are people all over that are suffering. I want to bring something to the attention to many people, and it's a dark stain in American history, but we do know that in the United States this is a melting pot, and we have people from many countries here. When 9/11, for those of you familiar with that, and I think by now most people will remember that awful attack on American soil in New York, in Virginia, the Pentagon, and I believe it was an area that was supposed to have been attacked, but unfortunately it ended up in Pennsylvania. People were not concerned about one's status, their shade, their preference. Everyone on that day had one goal, and that was to get out of those buildings alive. Some you couldn't even tell their ethnicity because they were covered with soot and debris from the explosions and the ashes. They all worked together on that fateful day. And it's unfortunate it takes a tragedy for people to actually work together. They didn't stop to look and determine one's identity. They were all working together collectively, as I mentioned, to get out alive. And unfortunately, almost 4,000 people perished. So I just want to make sure people understand that as well. Gregory Robinson asked, will there be a shutdown, people? Yes or no? Now that's a $1 million question, Gregory. And Amber says, Jesus has us all. Trump, we the people. We are Charlie Kirk, MAGA. And Amber says it had nothing to do with color. It was about money. I understand your point, Amber. What I'm saying is at that time, the goal, the collective goal was to get out of wherever they were safely. Nothing else mattered at that time other than getting home safely. But again, your comments are welcome and I appreciate them and you. Truly I do. There are a lot of people that didn't agree with Mr. Kirk. But again, I don't censor people and I read your comment. Where there are some platforms that would not have. So again, I don't censor. I just ask people to be respectful. So Amber says they shouldn't have had to do that though. It's so sad, all of the lives lost for evil. Amen to that, Amber. And do you know, Amber, this day, that was in 2001. It is now 2025. There are people that are still suffering from what happened back in 2001. There are people that have passed away from illnesses from that horrible, horrible day. There are adults now that were babies in the womb whose parent or parents never made it home, that they never had a chance to know. So yes, you're absolutely right, Amber. That was extremely sad. And it should not have happened. My apologies. But that was a fire truck, as you all can hear. Greetings, BBC Academy. Hey to you. And hello to Family Always from Utah. Those of you that are just coming in, if you would be so kind, would you please double tap your screens? I don't ask for much, but thank you. Thank you so much for that. And let's see what this message is. Now, BBC Academy, that was foul. BBC Academy asks a question. If I was a minority, would you love me? Amber asked the question, are you for the people? And Mr. Jason West says, God bless the USA. Of course I'm for the people. I'm for the people. I'm part of the people. Whether I agree or disagree with some ideals and thoughts, I am part of the people. So things and some things I may not be in agreement with. No, BBC, I'm not, because that was foul. And as I said, I don't censor people, but you are a candidate for a timeout if you continue, okay? And I'm a Slatin. Blessings and greetings to you. Get your comment. I believe all humans are created equal in the image of a mighty and loving God. So yes, I would. And family always says, I'm moving to Virginia this fall, 20 minutes from DC. Are you speaking about Alexandria or Arlington? I love it there, but I'm afraid to visit it now with all the craziness going on in our capital. Well, I can tell you there is craziness everywhere. You can't escape it. You really can't. One of the attorneys that I work with, he lives in Alexandria, not too far from Old Town. His side is beautiful and safe, but if you go 2 blocks over, it's a little bit different. So you have to keep in mind, you can have a beautiful, safe neighborhood on one street, and just a few streets over, the element can be completely different, and that's in many areas. Trust me, I've been around. I've seen them. Family says, I love Alexandria. Old Town is beautiful. A lot of Virginia is actually very beautiful. Beautiful homes. A lot of nice eateries and pubs. Is that Belton, Texas? No, this is Washington, D.C. Steve. Hey there, Steve. Welcome. Those of you that are just coming in, if you would be so kind, can you please double tap the screen? I'd appreciate that. No, this is Washington, D.C. This is the capital, the nation's capital, Washington, D.C. And the question is, will the federal government shut down at 12:01 a.m.? And family always says, best farmers market around. Family, I love the farmers markets. Oh my goodness, I went to one off of Veterans Highway in Maryland, and they had the most plump, fresh peaches and strawberries. I didn't have a lot of cash on me. I had my card. I had to hurry up and get to an ATM before the gentleman closed. It's Pumphrey's Farms, but homegrown to me, it's more tasteful, and I love it. But farmers markets, yes. And I like to support small business, so absolutely. You know, because where I'm sitting, there are a lot of officers around. One just passed by. He didn't say anything, but again, they have to be vigilant as well because they really don't know me, even though I'm not doing anything wrong. They have to make sure that everything is on the up and up. So, no, I won't be here. Cuddling Craig. I am not going to read your comment, but I'm sure the chat has read it, and I'm not really sure if that was meant for a laugh, but that wasn't funny at all. But carry on. And a lot of these areas are closed at night. John Hancock III says, I'm from VA, but I live in Atlanta. Do you know I have always wanted to, and I'm still seriously considering relocating, but Atlanta, and I've been to Atlanta before, and when it was for a conference, it was so hot I couldn't stand it. Now, if there is a small rural town in Georgia that is safe and not around a lot of people, then I would consider it, but I'm really tired of this area. It's too congested and it's just too many people, and the price of living it's really expensive. Okay, John. John says, I used to live in D.C. D.C., if you know, has changed quite a bit. And there's still issues here. It's not cleaned up 100% as some people would have you to believe, but you can actually walk outside, walk your pets, push your baby carriages different times of the night, and not be faced with certain issues as you did back in the 80s and 90s. The 80s and 90s was a horrible time in Washington, D.C., and unfortunately, Maryland has become a hot spot, a spot where women are going missing, women are being abducted, women are being unalived in many places in Maryland. So I've had it. I'm done. I see you, Brother Boss. Thank you. Leonardo, Geraldo, blessings to you and welcome. For those of you that are just coming in, if you would be so kind to double tap the screen. Again, if you're unable to tap it with your finger, tap with your nose ever so lightly, perhaps your toe or your elbow or maybe your ear. Find something to just tap the screen. Thank you so much. See, I don't ask for much, just a like. And again, the question is, do you think that the government will indeed shut down at 12:01 a.m.? The deadline is coming, and what will that mean? You do know that October the 1st is not here yet for those of us in the United States. My friends from abroad who are here in the chat, It's already October 1st for them, but many people here in the States, they're waiting for their benefits. They're waiting for their paychecks. And if an agreement has not passed and there's no funding, what is going to happen? Now, of course, essential personnel will continue to work. First responders, of course, will have to continue to work. Military, etc., etc. But for the other individuals in the workforce, what does that mean? Or what would that mean for them and their families? Will there be changes in prices? I have seen, and I'm a vegan. Well, not everybody in the house enjoys vegan food, so every now and again I have to please everyone. But when you are trying to maintain a healthy lifestyle, that is not cheap. Trying to purchase organic and stay on an organic vegan diet lifestyle, extremely expensive. Now, I can say, to be fair, in certain places in Maryland, gas prices have lowered, which is a good thing. But your basic essentials in many of these markets are extremely high. Your soaps, your laundry detergents, basic cleansing cloths, that they're almost triple what they used to be. Tommy Hitman says, release the Epstein file. A lot of people are waiting on that. And Tommy, if you're one of them that's waiting for that, you may have to wait for a very long time. And Proud Inate says, shout out, madam. Again, thank you for the thumbs up, everyone. Okay. Got a few more moments left. John Hancock III, that is a wonderful question. I have been out for 2 hours and 25 minutes, and I have not seen not one member of the National Guard. Now, that's not to say that they are no longer here, but I have not seen any. I just saw a few very nice, pleasant Secret Service agents. I've seen a couple of Capitol Hill police officers because I'm right here at the Capitol. But no, I haven't seen any members of the National Guard. I have not seen any FBI agents nor any ICE agents. And I have not seen not one MPD officer. Hey there, Edwin Barrios. I've seen you before. Blessings and hello. If you don't mind, if you would be so kind, double tap, please, and Thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, those of you that are in the East Coast, are we at 12:01 a.m. yet? Hey there, Alex. It appears that might be the case. And for those that have stayed with me during this shutdown watch, if you will, I appreciate you so very much. I will be down again sometime this week, after work, of course, because I'm sure if it does shut down, there are going to be some protests. I have to be up early, and I try to get some content and videos and shorts uploaded. But as I said, I work for a law firm, and I have to put in many hours. And yes, even though I have autonomy, I still have to get my hours in. And I find myself up late doing a lot, getting investigative reports completed and things of that nature. Oh, Calais, thank you. Thank you for your blessings. I didn't even notice that. Let me give you a quick heart. Thank you so much for your blessings. May they be returned to you abundantly. Red-blooded American, you are still here, or at least you've returned. Thank you. I don't know what you just said, though. Egbert? Are you calling me Egbert? Weena is still here. Thank you. Cohetan Egberto. Not sure what that means, but I read it out loud for you. How are you doing, Weenja Jumps? I see you getting your exercise on. That's very good. Simp. Okay. Someone just rode by on their bike. And while you're in here, if you haven't, can you please double tap? We're almost at 60 likes. That's awesome, you guys. Give yourselves a round of applause. And Red-Blooded American says Congress should take the... All right. Red-Blooded American says Congress should take the rest of the year off. Nobody would even know they're gone. I believe that is what the sentence is supposed to read. Nobody would even know that they're gone. Now, that is something that I can definitely concur with the red-blooded American. That was funny. And Abdullah, okay, says, hi, what is going on? I just got here. Well, Abdullah, interesting name and welcome. If you're new to the channel, please double tap. We have been watching and talking about the federal government possibly shutting down at 12:01 a.m. I understood what you meant, red-blooded American. No worries. And Mark says hello. Hello to you, Mark. Greetings and welcome. Again, those of you that have not double tapped the screen, would you be so kind? I'd appreciate it. And again, thank you to Beautiful, Ideal, and Calais for your blessings. May they be returned to you abundantly. Thank you so much. Mark says, I remember when Washington, D.C. and the people who worked in Washington, D.C. and our government really did do a job for us. Sometimes not so good, maybe, but they did for us. Now they do for themselves. Pablo says, shut down the government. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you for the 60 likes. I appreciate each and every one of you. Abdullah says, what's the issue with the shutdown? Unfortunately, an agreement has been a hiccup. And if it shuts down, and this has happened before, as I mentioned, it could result in furloughs. It could result in people not being paid. It could result in services not being available or accessed by people. Usually there's a continuing resolution where there is some type of agreement that will allow for funding to get through until an agreement is reached and funding has been appropriated. September 30th is the end of the fiscal year. Again, not physical. You'll hear many people say physical, but it is actually fiscal. Fiscal, fiscal year, and the new fiscal year begins October the 1st. So that is the issue at hand. And those of you familiar with government, you'd understand that. Abdullah, absolutely not. This has nothing to do with the Epstein files. This threat of shutdowns happens quite often. And again, if you Google continuing resolution or furloughs, you will see this. It happened to me when I was much younger. I was furloughed when I was working in the government, but I was much younger, but I've seen this before. The difference is this is a different regime, so I don't know if there is going to be a paradigm shift or not. And John Hancock III says, yeah, they're still in there. Thank you, Brother Boss, and happy October. So, I believe we're at midnight now. Am I correct? Those of you that are in the States, at least on the East Coast. If so, then happy October. Happy October to everyone. Please give thanks for making it to and through another day and to a brand new month. Johnny Drabot says, what about the comet on its way called Atlas? I am unfamiliar with that, Johnny, but I will research it. And John says, how long you think the government will be down? John, I really don't know. When I went through the furlough, it was 3 weeks. It was 3 weeks. Again, this was back in, I want to say, 80s, maybe 90s. It was a long time ago, but I remember it. So again, essential workers will still be expected to report. And it's really unfortunate these things happen, but for those of you that are new and wondering what's going on, this is what's going on. And again, many people understand that this is not the first time, and I'm sure this will not be the last time. The difference is we are under a new administration, so because of the fighting and accusations and finger pointing that's been going on, if it does shut down, who knows? Who knows? If you have two sides that are just not willing to agree on anything, who knows? I cannot unfortunately answer that question. CPO, Saludes, Republica Dominican. No. Well, welcome. And Nicole Anderson. Blessings, Nicole. Greetings and thank you. Says, when will it happen? Those of you that are just coming in, if you would be so kind, can you please double tap the screen? Again, if you're unable to do so with a finger, use your nose, your ear, your elbow, your toe. Just double tap. I'd appreciate you so very much. Mark says, Nicole, where have you been about the last 1.5 minutes? From now, the government will shut down. Thank you for the thumbs up. The government is slated to shut down at 12:01 a.m. and I do believe, can someone please give me a time? I can't see it on my device. But I'm almost sure that we are near. Let me see something real quick. Pretty close to it. I'm sorry, Nicole. I don't believe he meant any harm, as you did just come in. But no, we're just having a virtual conversation about this, what looks like to be a shutdown of the federal government. And again, it's slated to be at 12:01 a.m. So again, if it does happen, I am certain that there will be some protests tomorrow. And Mark says the government is now. And then Dems tears taste great. Your troll names are actually hilarious to me. There was a troll that came into the chat earlier when I was in front of the White House with the name Suge Knight. And it just came out of nowhere. So I asked him, had he been pardoned? And if so, I wanted to get an exclusive interview with him. But these troll names are funny. Dems tears taste great. Says, oh no, the world's ending. No, it's not ending, but it can be devastating to many people that this can and will affect if indeed it does shut down. John Hancock III says, glad I never relied on the government. That's my real government name. Well, you know what? That's funny, John Hancock, because back in the day, my mother always said, make sure when you graduate that that you get that good government job. At that time, there were many people that believed, and honestly, trust me, I know you had to do something really criminal to get fired from the federal government. I have at least 25, maybe pretty close to 30 years. And I don't know at this time, but I'm no longer with the federales, but I've had a good long stint with them and worked in many areas. Some things I can speak about, others I cannot. Um, I work for a law firm now, in-house investigator for one of them, so I see a lot. And thank goodness, thank goodness. All I can say is thank goodness, because I'd be really concerned right now. And Dem's tears taste great, says, no troll, dear. No, this is the same every year. Many people say that again, and thank you for those that have been kind and sweet enough to thumb up this video. I appreciate each and every one of you. Yes, it does happen, but again, this is a different regime now, so we're going to see what happens. Again, Auntie Maxie seemed to be a little bit shook earlier, and someone mentioned earlier that they should have terms where people need to go. I have to agree with that. If some people, the time is up. You've had a good run. It's time to go bye-bye. John Hancock III says, government shut down, but the light's still on. Yes, like Motel 6. They left the lights on at the Capitol. And on the other side of me, that's a generator right there. Hold on, let me see if I can increase the screen for you all real quickly. That's a generator right there. And this is another really beautiful shot of the Capitol, so it looks like it didn't shut down for some buildings. Brian Carr says, not a regime, it's an administration. Well, there are people that would say it's a regime. A new sheriff's in town. How about that? And Mark says, please tell me, what is your name, dear, and where are you from? Dr. Mark J. Massar. I'm sorry. My name is LEESE. I am from Maryland, but I am in Washington, D.C. right now. Ideal blessings again to you, my beautiful. And Brian Carr. They won't turn them off? Brian, come on now. Do you honestly believe that the lights of the Capitol is going to be turned off? Do you believe those little red lights in the monument is going to be cut off? We were just over there at the White House. No. And let's see, hold time. Okay, Brian, I was in Baltimore a week or so ago. I was following up on the mass overdose incident. I had some work to do out there, so I stopped through and took some footage of that. Beam Stretcher says, and welcome. Those of you that are just coming in, if you could be so kind to hit the double tap. And if you're new to this channel, would you consider subscribing? I'd appreciate it. You don't have to, it's just a question. They kept the lights on because they have money in energy stocks. So using energy will help keep their stocks high. And if the lights go out, they can buy more, and those stocks will go up too. People call things by the wrong name all the time. Uneducated or poorly taught is what is. Okay? Lord Cancer says, looks super peaceful for once. I might actually enjoy the Capitol finally. It's always been peaceful out here. And just across the way, if you can see, there's the water. Now, the water doesn't smell too good, but it's very peaceful, very quiet. Okay, I'm back, everyone. So, the federal government, I just spoke to Capitol Hill police officer, that's why I was off a bit, is officially shut down. And I did get out, so you all can see a little bit better. This is a reflecting pool. And you can see the lights are still on downtown. Capitol. Again, that's the pool there. So, the official word, the federal government, as of 12:01, October the 1st, is shut down. What does that mean? What will happen later in the hours? How are federal government employees feeling at this time? And those. And this is the little noisemaker behind me. Richard says, Washington, doggy style, DC. Okay. Yes, Miss Nicole, it is official. Richard, if you would be so kind, can you hit that double tap screen since I read out your crazy message? But yes, as Miss Nicole just said, it is official. I was speaking to a couple of Capitol Hill police who advised me as well that it is official. So again, your thoughts. Okay, Richard is saying isn't shut down. I just spoke to a couple of people who disagree with that. But again, I am out here and it's relatively quiet. Beautiful night. People still going here and there. But from the news I had, if it wasn't an agreement, then it would be shut down. And again, I just spoke to two Capitol Hill police officers who indicated that it was. So again, I would encourage you then to check the news and see what they're saying. That is probably a better way of putting it. More like sleep mode. Again, as many people have mentioned earlier before, those familiar with it, many people have gone through this, but again, we're under a different administration. Some say regime, some say there's a different individual at the helm, so who knows how long it will last. If something will change in the coming hours, we just don't know. But thank you to those that have tuned in during this government shutdown watch. Again, it happens. Will it be different this time? Will it last for a few hours, days, weeks, months? Well, that's good for people who are looking for those, Richard. Thank you for that. Richard says, Social Security payments will still go out early October. And I think that's what a lot of people have been concerned with. Payments and things that they look forward to, the basic necessities to live. So again, live from DC, you saw and heard some of the statements made by some at the White House. And it's a beautiful view there. And the nation's capital, Washington, D.C. Nicole says, I haven't been approved for mine, Richard. Well, for all of those who may be affected adversely, even if it's temporary, my thoughts and prayers to you and to everyone. I am going to sign off for now, but God willing and if time permits, I will be back in DC for more additional coverage. Everyone, again, thank you for tuning in. Have a peaceful night, and those who may be feeling a little bit anxious, remain in faith and believe everything will work itself out. Yes, it has. I just spoke to a couple of Capitol Hill police officers who confirmed that's why I was off for a little bit. We were having a little conversation. I didn't know I could actually come out and sit at the bench near this water. They told me that I could do that. I could sit out here all night if I wanted to. I said, oh no, I can't. I can't do that. I've been out here long enough, but I did want to stay with you all at least until 12:01. So, happy October, officially. Happy October for many people. It's a brand new month. It's a brand new day. If not anything else, give yourselves a round of applause for making it to and through a brand new day and a new month. We never know what's ahead. So, again, remain in faith. And until next time, please be safe, be well, and you know the rest. Be healthier. Until next time, bye-bye for now. And again, thank you for the blessings you all sent. May they be returned to you abundantly. Absolutely, Nicole. I think I'll end it on that. Everyone, keep your heads up. Bye-bye for now.